Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Triple Trio, a weekly look at all things world racing through the lens of Hong Kong racing with simply the best form analyst in the business in Clint Hutchison, and also the golden boy, our Hall of Fame jockey and Raymond Shane Dye, who's having a little technical issue at the moment, but good to see you, Hutch.
Yeah, and you. We will get to him eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed. He's in a country where the internet apparently is not all that good.
Oh, right. That's in New Zealand, but they're good at absolutely everything else.
It's a lot better than here, I can tell you, in Australia. Let's hope we get hold of him. But a lot to talk about moving forward. Good meeting on this weekend, this Saturday racing as well. Richo up at Sha Tin. And, I think the back end of the card looks really strong.
And Shane's been very busy because he's been at Karaka for the ready-to-run sale. And so many of the Hong Kong trainers are there as well, trying to find the next Car Ying Rising.
I think there was something like 18 Hong Kong trainers, which is a lot, down at Karaka this week for the sale. So very popular. It's not surprising. They're big buyers at that sale. But that's an amazing amount of representation. So we're going to see a lot of those graduates in Hong Kong in the not too distant future.
And hopefully Shane is buying horses for clients, but also hopefully buying one for us and the Triple Trio family. Let's check out Shane in action.
At 90,000 now. All done. I sell him. He goes. Great value early in the day for 90. Thank you. It's Shane Dye's people, is it? Well done, Dicey. Thank you. Great to have you here. Now, at 200,000 on, 200 now, but 200 now, but 200 here. At 200,000, I sell him now. Going, selling at 200. On the market he is. At 200 now. I'll turn the corner and wait for you. All done. Selling for 200.
Bang. That's what he does. He gets the job done time and time again. So we will touch base with him and find out what the end result is, how the spreadsheet looks at the end.
I'm sure it looks good. But whatever he gets for us, I'm just taking a very small share. I'm just letting you know. You're the majority shareholder.
I wouldn't have thought so. I think our Triple Trio audience will be the majority shareholder.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Triple Trio Syndicates. What a beautiful name that's got. Wonder how Shane's atmosphere and how his adrenaline goes pumping along while he's bidding along for those horses. Of course, don't bite your nails, young man, whatever you do.
I thought he looked very serious. He looks like he's in the zone back when he was riding.
Look at him.
Full of concentration.
I feel sorry for that pen. He's given that pen a fair old chewing to, isn't he?
Wouldn't want to burst it. Could be quite a scene there, but no, he's good. Good, and they gave him a good mention as well.
As they should. Of course, he is the Hall of Famer over in New Zealand and in Australia as well. Hey, let's have a look at last week's show and all the highlights from a tipping point of view. HUTCHI'S Honkers.
I think Light Years Charm's got a great chance. He will need a bit of speed in the race, but I think it's an easier race for him.
He's going to be hard to beat, though, if you look at that first up run in his two trials.
Light Years Charm and Eris Nova. It's Stromberg, Benner, Beauty Crescent. Light Years Charm driving. Eris Nova's coming in after him, but it's Light Years Charm in the last who has them all beaten. Light Years Charm beat home Eris Nova.
I think Encountered has definitely come back to his form this season, joining the Brett Crawford yard.
And I really like Encountered. I think Encountered will be backable too at the price. I like the lightweight. Hopefully Karras can get it done. You know what happens when you come on the show.
I know.
You ride winners.
Get a little bit of that lucky sprinkle on top.
Running on is Encountered. Then came Beauty Joy and Bundle Award. Pray for Mer. Desperately needs the post. Happy Together. And Encountered drives at all of them. Happy Together. Encountered's won it again.
She's going to win, you'd think. Like, we all know she's never reproduced that run from the Cox Plate 12 months ago. She doesn't need to, Clint, I don't think. These aren't that good in this race.
Via Sistina, 100 metres to go. She's got the class and she's got the legs, the stamina to win. Another star turn from Via Sistina, 3 legs.
There's so many highlights. You were also keen that Wolf could run really well, and it certainly did run well, the son of Tavistock.
It's a really good day, the stakes day now, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Those three. I mean, they've modelled it a bit on other parts of the world, including Hong Kong, having that, those distances, and it was great to see the fantastic mare there doing her thing.
It just whets the appetite for International Day in Hong Kong in December, where we will be there and cannot wait for it with that beautiful sprint into the mile, into, of course, the Cup, and then don't forget the Vase at 2,400 metres. Looks to be really open, and we'll be previewing them now that the entries are in a little later on in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
Let's try to find first, Brett Crawford's going to be our very special guest.
Yeah.
That is going to be fantastic, the South African champion trainer who certainly hit the ground running in Hong Kong. All of the usual. Hopefully, Raymond Shane's technical issues...
Not too far away.
They'll be eliminated. He'll be joining us for the Idol as well. But first, let's find some winners. We're racing at Sha Tin on Saturday, make note there. So race number 7 is where we're going to start. Class 2 over 1,200 metres, the Luckfook Jewellery Cup.
Yes, it is, and I think it's a very competitive race. Quite a few horses here with serious chances. Patch of Stars, they dropped back in trip race recently. I've got him 5.37. How good to have J-Mac back in town. He rides Aurora Lady. I've got a 6.40 early rated price. Eris Nova on the backup. Ladies' Choice going in second up as well. So this is an interesting race, Richo, and the race we're about to watch now, this is Patch of Stars. This is a steadily run race. Really good performance, 22.06, best final 400 at the whole meeting at 103% as well. So, look, he was a horse that we had that winning form, Richo, 1,400. They dropped him back in trip, and I like the way that he really attacked the line. So
Sweet ride, though, wasn't it? Now, Zach draws 9 here out of the 14.
He does, so he's going to need a little bit of luck. He's a horse with speed, but I think he'll let the speed go because there looks enough of it in this race with the likes of Ladies' Choice can go forward, Dancing Code's drawn low. Horsepower, they'll look for a little bit of cover. Harmony and Blessed will press on. Storm Rider, I think, will probably be relatively positive. So there should be good speed in the race. Usually with Ladies' Choice, there is enough speed, Richo, so I'm hoping that's the case.
And do you like the fact that Ladies' Choice has drawn barrier number 10, horse number 1 here? If we look at its last start performance where it ran second, so you could imagine from that wide barrier, they will roll forward.
I mean, what's interesting about this race, they were 5 lengths to the 400 ahead of standard, so they ripped along.
Right.
And Tomodachi Kokoro, we saw cover ground. He came out of this race to win, and we're going to see him compete, and he's just come back in unbelievable form. They've been running time. So Brave Star's another one out of this race to win. Eris Nova hit the line well, and that is a galloper that's on the backup, like I said, and can be tied in with his form. So Eris Nova is certainly right in the great game, and Ladies' Choice will strip fitter.
Now, what about Storm Rider draws wide with Karis Teton on, and then J-Mac draws even wider with Aurora Lady.
Yeah, I'm really interested in Aurora Lady, and the reason why I like this, I thought Aurora's Lady's run in this race was the best. They didn't go overly hard. Storm Rider had the perfect run in the race, box-seated, got the job done. But Aurora Lady, 14th best final 400 at the meeting. J-Mac on, nicely weighted against some of these horses as well, Richo. So I think Aurora Lady's right in the game. It'd be pretty popular with J-Mac on board as well, but deserves to be so as well.
Okay, so 9, 6, 11 and 1. For our audience, we will get him online, Shane Dye, but he's put through his selections as well, how he would like to play this. And he's with you, Hutch.
Yep.
But he thinks Dancing Code, the 3, might be the danger.
Well, what's interesting about this race with some of the horses like Dancing Code, Dancing Code was playing last start, but form prior was good and maps to get a good run. Eris Nova on the backup. Well, we saw Shane tip that last week, so he might be on the money there again, but it's a very competitive race, Richo.
Okay, so we agree on the 9, though. We move over to race number 9 here now. Huey Bowman on Dragon Air Force, James McDonald on Turin Mascot, and Reliable Profit for Zach.
So much of these races depends on how the dirt track will play on the day. But irrespective of that, I like Huey Bowman being booked for Dragon Air Force, and I think the return to that service is a major plus. Reliable Profit absolutely bolted in the other day. Kempes is up in trip, and I think Endeared's an interesting runner who has handled the surface, was well ridden when it performed well. This is a replay we're going to take a look at, Richo, with Reliable Profit. And what I think sort of amplified the winning margin here was they went 8 lengths fast to the 800, then they slowed down. So you got this massive mid-race slowdown between the 8 and the 4. A few unlucky runners held up in behind, and Zach just chimed in off the wide trail and absolutely bolted in. It's a tougher assignment this time around. He will find it harder. He'll need an even track, but he was unlucky to start before.
Yeah.
So he can run well.
And he draws a wide gate here. Let's have a look at another key replay. And Ariel, Turin Mascot come through this?
Yeah, they do. Turin Mascot was a good run. I just spoke about the race shape with regard to the Reliable Profit race. This was a polar opposite. They went very slow, and New Profit was built up from the 800. And you see what that makes it difficult for those back markers to get into it. So the likes of Turin Mascot and a couple others that were back in the field could easily run better with a different race shape this time around.
So Turin Mascot, James Orman's replaced by James McDonald here, and J-Mac again draws a wide barrier as we look at the field all the way down to the 14.
You mentioned Turin Mascot. They'll go back from there again, and he's a horse that's got a reasonable record on the surface, so that'll certainly help him as well.
What about Good Luck Babe?
Yeah, an interesting runner. I mean, Campes is the one. This is obviously over a shorter distance. So, you know, we did some study not all that long ago about horses 12 up to 16, both at the Valley and even on the dirt. Yeah. And it's not a recipe that is all that easy to get right, to be honest with you. I think Campes is the type of horse, though, that could be well suited. And for that matter, Good Luck Babe. Campes seems a horse that can get back in the field. Good Luck Babe's probably a horse that can settle handy.
And he's Snowfield as well?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this horse. This horse has definitely shown bit. And what we have seen in a number of barrier trials is this horse move well. Very, very interesting runner. It's a first crack on the surface. Mark Newnham's flying. Love the trial. Yeah. I think the market's going to be a friend with regard to Snowfield. So it's an interesting runner. Gate 1's a big plus as well.
20 wins for the season for Mark Newnham.
Flying.
So he leads the championship by 4 at the moment over David Hayes. So
he's absolutely flying.
That is an exceptional start to the season. So that's race number 9. What about Shane's selections here in the 9th? And he's with you, Hutch, and I love when you guys join your minds. In fact, you've both got the same box try, if you like, there.
Attack.
So
Attack.
You've got the trio together.
Let's hope we get it right.
Not the test, but you've got the trio, if you don't mind.
That's it.
What about race number 10? Who do you like?
Yeah, this is another really competitive race, and we've seen a lot of these horses line up against each other. I'm giving him one more chance, Beauty Bolt. I nearly barred him after his last run, but
I thought he made his way into the file.
Yeah, he nearly had. Max Q at 750. Yun Long Elite, like J-Mac going on. Fortune Boy beat a few of these. Look, gee, there's not much in it. There's a length or two across of about half a dozen in this lineup. Now, here's a look at the race, Richo.
Yeah.
Now, Max Q pops off, I think, too early in this race. Now, you can see Alexi Bedell. He's on the back of Pope Cody now. Now, when he comes off, you'll see him coming up here. He starts to, it's about the 650, 700. There, he makes the move. That provides opportunity for Fortune Boy underneath him, then to come up and get that sweet run. It also means that Max Q's making this long, sustained run. He was beaten half a length. We were on him. Wasn't ideal for us. Beauty Bolt's behind them as well. He was a little plain, but he was second up. And Zach did hint at the start of the season that he would get fitter and improve. I think Pope Cody, it sort of flushed him out when Alexi made that run as well. So there was some merit to that run. All that said, Fortune Boy was good. I think Max Q's a different setup this time around. Max Q's drawn gate 1, so you're going to see him with a lot more economical run with Alexi Bedell. He doesn't need to go that soon. I think he went too soon there. And then look at that. There's 5 across the line. There's not much between them.
Okay, so let's continue on to find the winner of this race. Just repeating your numbers are 5, 9, 4 and 8. Your Beauty Bolt on top.
Yeah, and this is just a replay with the Spirit of Peace back to the inside, of course. And we're taking a look at, Fortune Boy just edging his way out. So there's a couple of different views of this, and you can see there's a bit of contact between a few of the runners. But Fortune Boy was good. And I think David Hayes is also sort of suggesting that this might be a horse to stick with in the 4-year-old series with him as well.
Yeah, Karis Teaton's riding Fortune Boy and draws 12 of 14 in the race, though.
It's one-dimensional. He's going to go back, I think, Karis. He's a type of horse that I think you've got to give a little bit of a chance to. And in terms of pace, I wouldn't say there was a stack of it. There's a lot of horses that get back. Torby and Prince can go forward. I wouldn't be surprised if Zach says, all right, time to show up, Beauty Bolt. So we're going to see what you're made of. Because he's another one. I mean, the Derby is on the line for him. He's a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old about to turn 4. They've got to show something here.
And you think he's good enough? That's going to be the big query.
Well, we'll find out. He's got to turn up this time around. I mean, there's no fitness issues now. But if you look at some of his other form against those horses, he's good enough. Flying Luck's got a little bit to find. I think it's very interesting with Mr. Dapper because he was in that form race with Fortune Boy. He was beaten 2 lengths. The report was after probably will improve a little bit in the run. He was a touch held up as well. So Brenton Avdullah sticks. He had a great association with the horse last year. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Dapper improved a little bit with that run and a trial as well.
So 5, 9, 4 and 8 for you there, Hutch. Yep. What about the Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer? And he is with you again here, but 5, 3 and 8 with Pope Cody for James Orman giving a promotion there from Shane.
He's going well. James Orman. And what has he had, 5 now? So it's starting to get a little bit of support. It's not easy. We spoke to him a couple of weeks ago with his weight. It's only going to get tougher with all these other jockeys coming in.
That's right. Suddenly James McDonald comes in. That makes it so tough for the likes of a James Orman because suddenly he might get the squeeze on a few of the sort of 50-50 decisions, which you understand from the owners and the trainers.
It's like when I'm in the building with you, it's always a bit tougher, you know what I mean? I go down the pecking order.
Sure, yeah, good. I'm about to go down the pecking order even further because we're about to be joined by champion South African trainer in Brett Crawford. Well, our star power guest was to be champion Hong Kong trainer now, I'm saying. But South African trainer is now rebased in Hong Kong in Brett Crawford. But unfortunately, we've had some technical issues, which means that we can hear him. He can't hear us. So it's going to make it pretty tough for us to have a discussion with him. So we'll have to park it for the moment. Only had a handful of rides. What's he had, 30 runners for 5 wins? I mean, he's doing a remarkable job.
And hasn't had a lot of, quality stock in there as well, Brett Crawford. So it's an amazing effort. And, take out a feature race as well last weekend, that's something he can really hang his hat on. And I think he'll be very popular with the local owners as a consequence. And
well done to you who found Encountered in the Sa Ladies Purse. This was a super win. This is a horse that you identified at a really, really good price. I think a fair few of the punters were following him in, and from a tote point of view, a great result.
Yeah, it was a good point. I mean, there was good late money for him. I think on the tote he was sort of $12 or $14. In the last click of the board, he came around to, almost half that, or a little bit better than half that. But I liked the ride from Karras as well. There was decent speed. It was interesting to watch the race in terms of the race shape. I said last week, Richo, he's a horse that he probably needs a little bit of speed on. They'd been going back at the Valley with him and they decided to, ride him a little bit more neutral here. They settled in midfield, but there was this little bit of mid-race pressure here and they started to really stretch them out.
Yeah, so this is a Group 3 over the mile. So this is a fantastic performance. So settled worse than midfield here, but during the run, you just love the way that Karras, A, took his time, but also B, importantly, the horse looked like it settled really well.
Yeah, he settled well, and now he probably, probably up to the 1,200 metre race point, I should say, they might not have been going quick enough. But they start to slap on the speed now. You can see 22.3, 23.2. There's a little bit more pressure coming into the race, and now it's a matter of when does he go. Of course, it was good to see the horse just in front of him, Happy Together as well, who does go on to run a very bold race. And Happy Together we saw run well in the internationals last year. Like, he ties in a lot of those good horses. We know where we're at. There was a daring move mid-race by the Mer horse to get out and kick for home. But no, Karras has done a good job, and Karras has been on this horse for Brett so far this season. So you can see him starting to get busy now. The race is starting to fall apart at the head of the field. They're looking for the oxygen tanks, and fortunately, Encountered gathers him in. Now he's a horse that was quite progressive early on.
Yep.
And then he went off the ball. I think since joining the stable, he's done a really good job. The runs at the Valley have been great. They can aim a little higher now. He's probably not top level Hong Kong, but he'll pick off these sorts of races.
Well, Group 3 victory there.
Yeah.
And also, we identified that ride there by Karras. There was a moment about 500 metres out when he could have come out when that horse went 3 wide around him. He could have come out and actually got moving, but he didn't, did he? He just stood, he waited, and in the end, that was just brilliant.
You know what happened there? he had Shane Dye in his ear.
Yeah, so wait.
Like, we haven't got him in our ear today.
Hold.
But he had him in his ear. Exactly. Hold, wait,
Hold,
go.
and then wait.
Yeah, right.
And for Brett Crawford, that is a huge result. And no doubt he'll make a massive impact in Hong Kong. He's got a horse called Draco as well, which I think you were keen on with HUTCHI'S Honkers on Wednesday night at Happy Valley.
We'll be calling him Dracula soon if he doesn't do something. Don't worry about Draco. But look, you know what happened here? I think he's a horse to follow. Polar Fighter somehow didn't win this race. I'm still sort of struggling to work out.
You're a two-bet player, and they both ran unbelievably well to not win.
Zach, the race just didn't unfold well enough for Zach here. And this horse has made our black book earlier in the season. Could easily make it after this run as well. He's ready to win one. I'm not sure if it'll be Sha Tin or the Valley. He'll get one of them. He's racing too consistently, and this is the other thing that Brett Crawford's done really well with these horses. You want to see that consistency built. They can put in a good run sometimes, Richo, when they join a yard, but then you want to see it backed up and some form held, and that's been the case with Draco. So
he's had 33 runners for 5 wins. That's an outstanding start to his career in Hong Kong. What about on Saturday? He's got 4 runners there. Who are the best? Who are the best chances amongst them?
Well, it could be thumbs up again. Well, I think one of the more interesting runners for Brett is Ninja Derby. Look, Legendary Years has done very little. Forever Glorious is interesting coming to Sha Tin. Top Peak I couldn't recommend. But Ninja Derby was explosive when he won for the team. And once again, there was a little bit of money around this day. They followed this run with a run at the Valley, and he just, I don't know, maybe he didn't turn up, but tell you what, if he turns up in this sort of form for the team, he'll take a little bit of catching because he ran very good time this day, Ninja Derby, and he hasn't been all that easy to follow either. So he'd be the one from the Brett Crawford team that I'd be happy to say could go pretty well again. And it's a trial.
And so Lyle Hewitson draws 2, and then in this is its trial as well. And he's also got Forever Glorious, who draws 3 in the following race.
The thing with the Ninja Derby, though, when he won that day, the replay that we just watched, he drew wide. He actually used him up a bit early, and he absolutely bolted in. But I like the fact he's had a tick-over trial since his last run. He's ready to go. I think Brett's done an amazing job with him, and I'd be keeping him very safe there on Saturday.
And Lyle Hewitson in the saddle too, just to continue the South African flavour.
Yes, he's going well, Lyle. He's having a good season.
Just double-checking.
We'll catch up with him too when we're up there.
Well, we'd be crazy if we didn't. I mean, he wants to get on the show because he knows how lucky it is. Lyle Hewitson, 9 wins from 92, plus 12 seconds and 10 thirds. He's going really well.
I forgot to mention that, didn't I? Although we brought that up last week with Encountered when they're on the show, they have winners.
It's as simple as that.
It's an easy formula.
We sprinkle the triple trio dust on.
I love it. Interesting run here, Forever Glorious. I don't know, if Brett can get a win out of him, he's done a very good job. He's almost, let's just say he's not that easy to find.
And of course, leaving South Africa, he's left the stable in the hands of his son, James.
He's
doing good things there. So wonderful to have Brett Crawford in Hong Kong. And guess what? One of these days we'll get an opportunity to have a chat to him.
Yeah, we will. Well, we're going to have a chat with him at some point, but unfortunately the technical issues haven't allowed us to do that.
I've got my pen poised. Future winners coming up with HUTCHI'S Form Files. HUTCHI'S Form Files, we find some future winners in this elite form file called the Sweet in Defeat file. Who jumps in? A couple of contenders.
Yeah, we'll be going all right with the Sweet in Defeat file. Let's hope we can continue that movement. Now, I wanted to show a horse here that we did fancy a little bit there on the weekend. Gloria Star was a bit keen through the early stages, Richo, and actually found a nice spot. It only had the 1 race start for Martin Unum. The market was quite strongly behind Gloria Star as well. And just by the time he'd settled, the race started to all evolve around him, and Gloria Star all of a sudden was in a really trick spot. Here you can see the moves coming around, nowhere to go, sort of half gets shuffled back, loses a little bit of momentum. That sweeping run from a couple of horses ended up proving fruitful. And just bearing that in mind when the horse is having his second career start, bit keen, cluttered up. He did really well here. I thought, he might rally through and figure. Probably peaked the last 75 metres.
Entitled to.
Exactly. And I thought it was a really good run. So this horse only had 2 starts and I thought that was a very nice run. one from the stable, the Newnham stable, that'll, I think, be well worth following, Gloria Star. And outside of that, Jamie Richards had a very nice debutant by the name of Capliner run well down the straight. And that's a horse I think we can follow as well.
So they are sweet in defeat, and they keep following them. Who was the top raider?
Yeah, some good times posted in a couple of races last weekend. One of them was Light Years Charm in a race where I tell you what, they absolutely burnt the turf here. We had a couple of horses. Look at that second section, 21.05. So they've run their first 634.26.
Wow.
It's humming along from a standing start, isn't it? So, Light Years Charm,
you're entitled to get tired.
Exactly. He's a very interesting runner, this, because he's got that winning profile. Dave Eustace, it's kind of like you feel like he's going to be mixing it with the best potential milers. Yeah. He's been sort of scoring over the 14, but I reckon he is a horse that could probably measure up. Zach's had a lot to do with him. He's run time, he carried top weight. He'll go up against the better horses now with the lightweight. It'd be interesting to see if Zach can stick with him. Had him down as an 84.4, just a bit ahead of Encountered. But you saw that peak figure there from Encountered. He's got a good race in him, particularly over a journey. So I dare say that Brett Crawford's runner there will be winning more races this year. And
you can scan that QR code and join HUTCHI'S Honkers free for 2 weeks, which is an absolute beauty. And I can assure you it is a very profitable exercise following Hutchbuster. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, I gave you some homework because we saw a horse by the name of Winning Wing win the race after being, 15, 20... How far is that off the lead?
I haven't seen them zoom this far out for a while, Richard. I mean, how far is it?
I mean, is it 20 lengths off the lead?
That's where the cameraman said, you know what, I
can't keep him in.
I've got to get into the field. I'm not in the Melbourne Cup. I've got to zoom in here, you know? And anyway, it was an incredible amount of lengths. So it is interesting. I know you put the homework on me.
I said to you, has that ever happened before? Have you seen one that's given 20 lengths head start at the halfway mark and got up and won?
It is. It was more.
What have you come up with?
Well, I've got a couple here that are worth looking at, but that was 12 plus length. So here's one, Bundle Award. This wasn't all that long ago, actually. It was the end of last season. It was ridden by Andrea Atzeni, and you can see he's 12.75 lengths off at the 800 metre mark. I mean, it's a fairway. Look at this last 100, boom shakalaka.
Oh, I like
right down the outside. So he's actually a talented horse, isn't he? And there's one that even beats that.
You got one even further.
Can you believe this? But this horse actually didn't settle last. This was great joy because we had a tearaway leader in this race. Guess how far he was? 14.2 lengths, 5 lengths off at the 800 at Happy Valley. All these thanks to Sahil as well. He's the man who does. I don't do the homework myself. I pass it on. Someone else sends me the information, and I just make out that.
I knew you must have phoned a friend and Sahil goes,
"What have you got?
I'll bail you out yet again, Hutch."
Yeah, exactly. But there's a couple. It doesn't happen often, but I was surprised. There was actually a few more than I thought.
Now it's with great trepidation I say, coming up is the Idol, but the Idol without the Idol. That's next. Well, it's Idol time, but it's Idol time with a difference because we don't have the golden boy in the Hall of Fame jockey and Raymond Shane.
Does that mean I should try and be
So you
Shane?
Need to become Shane for this segment if you do.
How does that look? Hey?
That is absolutely perfect.
Okay,
you just need a few golden...
He won't be happy with that.
You need a few golden slippers around his neck. Now, Shane has submitted this as a ride that he would like to talk about. Now, this is where, we can make fun of him because we love him dearly, but this is the area where he's absolutely brilliant at analysing. So good luck.
No, this is not my forte in terms of running through what's been fantastic about a ride. But I know one thing with Shane, what he does love is these... riders that get back in the field. It's a bit like what he used to do.
Yeah, that's right.
In Hong Kong, settle back in the field. And the man that's got the 3 votes for Shane this week is Matty Pern. And I've got to say, I'm on a horse that, hasn't really been able to put up a win. So it was a nice performance. He settles back on the fence. There's good speed in the race. And, he was riding for a bit of luck.
Yeah.
We're going to have a word with Shane, though, because basically what Shane is doing is a little bit of copy and pasting.
Oh, hang on.
There's a lot of this type of ride. I want to see something a little different from Shane.
Well, something like a daring... Can we have a front-running ride?
Yeah, a front... I mean, how many... What is the ratio with Shane with the
get back, run
Get
on,
back,
settle.
run on to the on-pete. I hope
Don't worry, he'll watch this.
I hope he takes his feedback well, because I might not get the best, but in all seriousness, this was a great
I love how
ride.
you're doing it when you're not doing it to his face.
Yeah,
I like
no. I'm doing it now that he's not online and he can't hear me. Hopefully he doesn't watch it. But a good ride from Matty. He got the 3 votes, on a horse that hasn't been that successful in the past. And that was one of, I think, 4 seconds we backed on Wednesday as well. It was really good. Combined beaten margin 1 ahead.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you what, they were centimetre after centimetre after centimetre.
Yep.
The Poon Train winning the first. Now, these are the votes according to Shane. So Shane would say that it's Matthew Poon with 3 on double bingo. James Ormond 2. Now, I'd call it the auspicious, but Shane might call it the auspicious.
Yes, he could. He could throw a couple of extra vowels in there. You never know. But, we love it. And we never got those shirts printed up, did we, with Lucky Schwez?
Yeah, we didn't.
That's what we needed to get sorted.
So, Zach...
Good to see Jimmy Ormond on the board anyway, because James hasn't had that many chances, and it was a great ride on the auspicious. And Matty Chadwick, Thriving Brothers. That might have been an on-pace runner. I might have spoken too soon. I think he has got one. But you see, the on-pace runner gets 1 vote.
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
back marker gets 3. It's very much speaking towards what Shane likes in a ride.
There's a big watch coming up, and that is how he treats James McDonald. How he treats J-Mac for the Idol now that he's arrived in Hong Kong.
He's a Kiwi. He's going to give him all the votes, isn't
You
he?
would think so. However, there's
still a little bit of
rivalry there because J-Mac's only got 1 nickname.
Well, then because you keep saying he's the greatest rider to ever come out of New Zealand, and that doesn't go down well.
That doesn't go down well. Hey, we'll take a quick break. Hey, let's have a look at global racing next. Global racing, and of course, in 2 Sundays' time, Hutch, we'll be looking forward to these preview races in many ways towards the International Week. And Nicole Purton, of course, will be on the ground for us with all the latest news as this unbelievable build-up. So we look at the sprinters first and the entries for this fantastic race, which is a little entree, and it's got the superstar in it.
Yeah, there'll be a good little story that we'll hopefully be able to do surrounding Tomodachi Kokoro as well, because his former trainer from Cairns and his mate are going up to Hong Kong. They've never been out of Queensland in their life. They're going up to watch him run here against the world's best sprinter. So we're going to hopefully put together a little story there. Outside that, Helios, the usual suspects, I think. One of the interesting runners at an early point of view could be Fast Network there.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So you see Fast Network improving. What about in a mile point of view? Who are you keen to see?
Look, my wish is going to be extremely hard to beat, but Galaxy Patch will have a lot of admirers. Will we see Light Years Charm potentially get there? Will he, turn up in a couple of weeks? So that's still evolving. But number 1 seed is clearly my wish.
And then we get to the Cup preview, and the champ is back.
Mouth-watering, because you know what we've got now? We've got the champ, but we've also got the bubble. We've got last year's Triple Crown winner, who showed he can stay a mile and a half, and some of their clashes. We've had McDonald, Purton, Bubble, Warrior.
What a photo that is.
I mean, it's a great photo, and that race alone, not only the lead up, but on International Day when those two go head to head, it's worth the price of admission.
That'd be from our man, Alex, with the best ponytail in world racing.
He's the best in the business.
What about the International Jockey Championship, the Wednesday night? It's always mouth-watering. I absolutely love it. Trying to find, we showed last week the key riders that are coming from around the world. What about trying to find these freelance Hong Kong jockey spots?
Yeah, well, it's always a great honour for the locals to be represented.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough, Richo, you were there a couple of years ago when you saw a local winner.
That's right.
Very well received.
Yeah, Vincent Ho. Isn't it fantastic to see Vincent? And, of course, Zach's been to the fore as well in the past. So
This is Zach's on 34 wins this year. I mean, this will be interesting in terms of the spread of wins. But Luke Ferrar's having a great year. So well done to Luke. Huey Bowman's knocking them back. But let's talk about the locals. Who's going to represent them? Well, I can tell you this. Vincent's back from injury. He's on 8 wins, but he's got a few breathing down his neck. Jerry Chow's riding extremely well. Matty Poon.
The train.
Well, the Poon train had a fantastic Wednesday. Derek's in the game. Chad, and Angus. So all of these riders, there's only 2 between them. And that concludes on the 26th of November.
So we've got 4 meetings, I think.
4 meetings.
Yeah.
So there's 4 meetings left. Who will the local be? You know what? Honestly, any one of those lads would be a great representative for Hong Kong.
No whirlpool this week for us to have a look at and to preview. So we can reflect on everything that was brilliant about Champions Day at Flemington. Now, the rain-affected track changed things a lot, didn't it? And then we had, in the sprint, we had 10 tyres scratched at the barrier. So it ended up becoming a really interesting... look, I thought that, the wet track suddenly brought magic time in, but Giga Kick was doing Giga Kick things. God, he's a beauty.
Yeah, you made a really good case for Magic Time once the conditions were what they were, Richo. You were absolutely spot on. And Giga Kick just handled the conditions well. He hinted he was back to something like this. I like this establishment of the race. Jolie Starr, I mean, you've got to forgive her, don't you?
She just doesn't love it as wet as this.
A couple of things are going to go into Perth, I think. Is Benedetta going, Giga Kick and Giga Kick going to go as well?
Absolutely. They're heading to Perth, so the Winterbottom is fantastic for that Group 1 race there. The Champions Mile, what a battle this was. I know you were keen that Jay Wolf could run well, and by gee, it did. And I was keen that Pericles could be the roughie in the race at around $15, and they fought it out. This is a beauty.
Yeah, I mean, Pride of Jenny was gone on the turn, and I think Treasure of the Moment, chasing that speed, took its toll. These two handled the conditions. Look, this is a big talking point. Now, we actually were talking about the whip issue last week, Richard, on our show prior to this race.
Yeah.
It was an incident where obviously Chad Schofield was fined.
For overuse.
There's a lot to come out of that race, isn't there?
Certainly is. I mean, so the reality is that Chad was fined $35,000 but didn't lose the race. Pericles. So can I be the devil's advocate? If we've got this rule, taking Shane's point, if we've got this rule, enforce it. If it's a rule of racing, then Chad, with due respect, has broken the rule. Whereas the rider of the runner-up, and he's beaten by centimetres, hasn't broken the rule. How have they not enforced the rule?
Yeah, well, they're not going to, are they? That's why Shane said use it as much as you want. So couldn't agree with you guys more. Outside of that, this is a very interesting case because it's a bit like the NFL, when you have... because the second horse shifted in and took him off his line, like even if there was a protest or an objection... the runner-up sort of took him off his line as well, so it was like
it'd be a counter-argument.
It was a counter-argument,
but at least have that argument.
Yes.
If you've got the crop rule, and I keep wanting everyone to change. If it's a perception idea, the reason why we're doing this is the perception of we don't want jockeys to be hitting a horse with what is called a whip, but call it a crop because that's what it is called in all equestrian sports, and that straight away takes away any animal cruelty connotations.
And that's why I said last week I don't like the rule. I don't buy it. I mean, there's the perception doesn't stand up. It's illogical because if it's unlimited goes in the last 100, what's the difference? It's
correct.
It's just silly. So there's a lot of revision that needs to be done there. And this is the other thing. Not only in Australia but worldwide, we need in the sport a universal rule. We need everyone on the same page. We can't have 8 in England, and,
correct.
8 up to the 100 here, and then as many as you want. Hong Kong, you can, it's different everywhere. We need some uniformity.
World racing, call it a crop like they do in every equestrian sport. I've never heard anyone in the Olympic Games when they're watching the equestrian complain about riders in the 3-day event in the cross-country phase using the crop to encourage the horse to get over the jumps. Never ever heard it.
Yeah. And they've made a lot of changes to the crop as well over the years, haven't they?
Absolutely.
And they've done a lot of things. They keep moving the bar. They keep changing or moving the goalposts to satisfy a minority that aren't really supporting the sport. Time to support the people that are supporting the sport.
They'll never be satisfied, that minority, so
100%.
Don't pander to them. The Champion Stakes, we got to see the superstar just flex her muscle again. 12 career Group 1s.
You know what? It's it's unbelievable, her record now. She is... we've always known she's a star.
Well, she's now a future Hall of Famer.
She is no doubt a Hall of Famer. And her overall record, I was listening on the radio the other day to like how many career starts she's had, how many runs in Group 1s and how many she's actually won. Like, she is elite. We've all known how good she is, but when I heard these stats being spoken over the radio, I thought, wow, that's an impressive record. Because she hasn't been overly taxed either. I think she's only had, in the mid-20s.
Remember when she jumped off the plane and she ran in Sydney in the Ranvet and they put up $4 for her to lob around in the Ranvet?
Sounds like someone got that.
Well, she didn't start at that price, I can assure you.
No.
Interesting, Brent Sarafa putting up a lot of information about how successful the Melbourne Cup was this year. So a new wagering record there with $382.5 million across the meeting, 11.1% year-on-year increase, surpassing the previous record. The race itself, $247 million, a 16% increase from last year and exceeding the previous record. I think it's at 4 times the turnover than any other race in Australia. It's unbelievable how much of a grip it does have.
Unbelievable. And in addition to all those stats, I think more than half or around a half of the attendees during the Cup Carnival were under 35s as well. So that demographic, the wagering numbers, everything, it's all very positive. We're not used to it in racing, all the positivity, but we can be a little bit happy about ourselves.
Well, damn straight we can be. There was Group 1 racing in Germany as well. It was in Munich. For Bay City Roller fans, this would be way, way beyond your years.
I know a Bay City Roller song.
A Scottish band, Shangalang Shangalang was one of their songs, if you don't mind.
Oh.
I won't be singing it.
Yes, you will be. When
Bay City Roller winning a Group 1 in Germany named after a Scottish band.
There you go. I mean, that's the beauty of racing, isn't it? Good win too. It's a nice performance and, wonder what representation we'll see if we get any representation from Germany out there in Hong Kong. They've had a little bit of success out there back in the day. I think Silvano was one that went to Hong Kong.
Absolutely, it did. And also, the Whirlpool is doing great things, giving back to the racing industry. And for the grooms, the ones who are preparing the horses so they look magnificent. And for Brave Pride, the son of Joe Pride, $8,000 Whirlpool Moment of the Day check on Champions Stakes Day. Isn't that absolutely fantastic to Brave and to Joe, providing the moment of the day, and that was some moment.
You know what I liked on that day as well, seeing all the grooms or strappers, as we call them here in Australia, shouting home in the conditions. You could have been a sunny day. They weren't letting the weather get them down. They were pumped, and good on them. I think it's... Yeah, congratulations to the Whirlpool. We see these really good, memorable moments all around the globe.
It's fantastic, and good luck to the Melbourne Racing Club, of course. Group 1 racing on Saturday with the Sea of 4 Stakes. A quick break. We'll hear from Nicole Purton, Social Stable. Best bets coming up.
The Blue Eye, he was the winner. The Blue Eye, bravo Al-Ghazali.
Tomodachi Kokoro won last lunge and he wins again. For Harry Bentley and David Hayes.
So Harry, can you describe your career before landing in Hong Kong?
Yeah, so rode for many years in the UK.
And the Martin Harry Bentley has split this field apart and he cuts it to the foot.
From a young age, I think from the age of about 18, I got invited to go across to Dubai and ride for a trainer called Satish Seemar, who was one of the very successful trainers out in the UAE. And did a winter stint with him just for 5 months, and loved my time over there, and it was a different pace of life and work. And so after that, I decided that, I wanted to return the following season, and that just rolled into a 11-year consecutive winter months riding in the UAE and amongst other countries in the Middle East.
Redder will give Qatar the Dubai Kahila Classic.
You were 6-time champion jockey in Qatar. Did that success shape you as a rider, and what was the experience like overall?
Yeah, well, obviously it was a great experience and a very important time in my career. I managed to go to Qatar and build some really good contacts in a short space of time, and ended up riding for the main stable there, a trainer called Jassim Ghazali. He was very good to me over the years, and we had a lot of big success.
It's the Blue Eye who's beginning to get up as they race up towards the line. It's a second win of the trophy for the Blue Eye.
Yeah, it certainly shaped me as a rider. I mean, those experiences certainly do, and riding across the globe against other international jockeys, and I've got very fond memories of Qatar and the Middle East as a whole.
You're in Hong Kong now. What do you find attractive about riding here and the city itself?
Well, the city itself is obviously an amazing place. It's extremely, diverse. There's an awful lot going on. There's always some events and plenty to do. From a personal point of view as well, having ridden in the UK for so many years, where you're so busy, racing every day, driving up and down the country, and spending hours on hours in the car every day, I loved and have and still continue to love the fact that we race twice a week. get some personal time and focus on your own health and fitness far better here. And I think it's just a bit more self-care.
What do you do to find enjoyment outside of riding?
Well, in the recent months, Basil's kept me extremely busy.
The new member of the family?
Yeah, and myself and Lorraine kept us very busy. But apart from that, try and play a bit of golf and do a bit of hiking. There's so many hikes here in Hong Kong, as everyone knows and says. You know, it's a fantastic place, and to do those sorts of things is great for your fitness, and it's nice to be out in the nature.
So riding in Hong Kong is considered more intense than anywhere else in the world. Would you agree with that?
I would. We all know how hard it is to ride winners in jurisdictions such as Hong Kong. The handicapping is extremely tight, and most races you could throw a blanket over the first 6. So it's obviously tough to get winners. There's such a passion for racing here, and that is obviously projected onto us as jockeys, that those race days are extremely important. We know how important getting winners is to, keep ourselves on the roster here as a jockey. So you always have that pressure of just making sure that you're doing enough to earn your place.
And he's not going to get Show Respect. Show Respect wins again. Harry Bentley for a treble tonight.
And goals for the future? What do you want to achieve throughout the season?
I would love to better my previous tally. I rode 31 winners last season. I would love to surpass that. If I could get to the 40 mark, that would be fantastic. And I'd love to tick off a group race along the way, and that'd be fantastic.
It is Tomodachi Kokoro. He's taken the lead. Tomodachi Kokoro is now a Premier Bowl winner. Stop it. For Harry Bentley, nothing that man can't do at the moment.
Harry Bentley's had a good start to the season, 7 wins from his 89 rides, and he's certainly established himself in Hong Kong now. There's no doubting that. Hey, Social Stable. And our Social Stable, a look at the Japan Cup, because this might have an impact for Hong Kong, Hutch.
It might. Well, we've seen horses run in the Japan Cup come out of there and compete in Hong Kong in the past. And Kalandagan, who's, of course, couldn't run in the Arc, but by all reports is the best horse in Europe at the moment. He goes over with unbelievable form from this year from Europe, so he's probably the best they've had go over in recent years, and great to see him tackle the Japanese on home turf.
And fantastic. And also Zach Burton having a little spin around on Voyage Bubble, and there's a little bit of action from Zach. So the Triple Crown hero is back.
Yeah, I mean, what a horse he is, and Zach's had a bit to do with him. Of course, it was a horror watch for him first up when it all went wrong, but he's going to have the benefit of a run as opposed to Romantic Warrior, and we look to say, like I said, to see Zach, J-Mac and those two champions take each other on.
And we're all building up towards December. Here's a little teaser of what we look forward to. Oh, how good does that look?
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's a great time of year, and the trial races, of course, not that far away. So usually they got 3 weeks between the main event themselves in December and them. So I think next weekend might be the time we'll see a few of them take each other on.
Okay, best bets time. Best bets time, and this has been a very, very different show with no Golden Boy, but we'll give you his best bets. He set them through. Who do you like?
I've still enjoyed the show, Richard. We've had a bit of fun, haven't we?
Loved it.
We've had a bit of fun. I mean, we have missed Shane, but
of course.
Get the money early, hopefully, on Saturday. George and Sigma, who, of course, was hampered, objected on debut when runner-up, and I think the right decision was...
Unbelievable performance, though, wasn't it?
It was.
To pick itself up and run second was huge.
Quite remarkable. So same sort of field in terms of opposition. It's a restricted race.
Yeah.
One of the other better bets on the card that I like is in race 7, number 9, Patch of Stars. Great win last time. I think we can take a couple of Quinellas as well with the 8 and 11. But I think Patch of Stars, back to that 1,200 metres, well suited in a very competitive race, and hopefully we get a reasonable price about that horse as well.
Yeah, so cues with the 6 Aurora Lady and 11 in Aries Nova as well. A couple of cues there for you to consider in and around Patch of Stars. The Golden Boy has said, hey, don't forget me.
Yes.
I want to give my best bet, because I know how much he loves giving away.
He loves it.
He loves getting away. And normally, I like when he goes early, but he's ignored me and said, I want to go in race 8. Horse number 2 here. And Yeah, so Emblazon, race 8, number 2 for the
He's
Golden
racing well
Boy.
in Blazing. He's going about it the right way. So interesting Shane wants to jump on that tram.
It's been a show with a difference, but thank you so much for watching. Hutch, you've been absolutely outstanding.
And you.
And I would argue this might have been Shane's greatest show. Just joking, Golden Boy. We absolutely
Don't upset him.
Hello. We miss the champion. He'll be back with us next week. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to your company next week on the Triple Trio.